I see, you know, a lot of bikes getting stolen, and I just kind of want to address this situation, okay? If you live in an apartment complex and your bike gets stolen, I'm going to say you deserve it. Yes, I'm going to say it, because, you know, the thing is that why would you put your bike in a place where it's unsecured? I mean, you can put a chain on there if you want to. You can put an alarm on there if you want to. You can put anything on these, you know, bikes as you want to. But it still doesn't matter. If somebody wants it, they're going to get it. Now, let me go through the process of a couple things. Let me tell you some things, okay? From experience and plus what I've seen. People say, well, I got a GPS on my bike. That's great. You know what? That is awesome. That's one of the, you know, good things you can put on your bike, but it's not going to help. And it would help, but it won't help. Because this is what happened. Let me tell you a story what happened to when I lived in an apartment complex. Okay, but when I lived in my apartment complex, I put mine in a garage. Now, word to the wise, if you live in an apartment complex and you own a motorcycle, I suggest you get a garage. And if you can't get a garage, I suggest that you put your bike somewhere until you can get one, or put it in a storage unit. Because sitting a bike out in an apartment complex, I'm telling you, they're just asking to get stolen. And the thing is that people don't realize that there's people out there who watch you, who know your schedule, who will sit there and jot down and write down your schedule. So when they want to steal your bike, or they have friends who steal bikes, they know when to go get it. So I suggest that you get a garage. And if you have other people in your apartment complex that have bikes, I suggest y'all get together and pay for a garage and just split it between over how many people have a bike in there. Because I honestly could trust somebody with another bike in the garage versus leaving my stuff sitting outside. Now, when I was trying to say, one of the things I was trying to say is about my situation I saw is a friend of mine. She had a bike. She had a Gixxer 1000. It was nice and clean and stuff like that. And I always wondered, like, you know, why do you keep your bike out like this? I mean, not only is it bad for your bike as far as rain and elements, and yeah, you can put on a bike cover, but bike cover doesn't stop it from getting like moisture and, you know, causing your rotors to rust and things like that. You know, it doesn't stop that stuff. So, you know, I just don't understand why people would, you know, I understand why would you put one on for temporary, but as far as a long-term thing, I would never understood why people put it on the bike cover. Put it inside. But she had her bike outside, and I was just kind of like, you know, I understood, like, she didn't have a garage. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get a garage. You can use, we can split the garage. And she was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, okay. Well, one day her bike got stolen. By surprise, huh? Well, I'm not surprised, but yeah, she was kind of shocked that her bike got stolen. And she was like, well, it's okay because my bike has the GPS tracking on it. Okay, cool. But what I've seen them, some of these thieves do is they'll take a bike, steal it, and put it somewhere and then wait. And that's what happened to her. They took her bike and they put it behind some apartment complex that was, that was like nobody lived in it. It was, that was supposed to be tore down or something like that. No one lived in it or something like that. So they stuffed it somewhere in the apartment complex and hid it. And what they do is they just wait. They wait about a week or two to see, if someone comes and gets the bike, because then they'll know that that bike has the GPS tracking system on it. So they'll do is they'll steal the bike, put it back there, and just wait. Just wait. And if the bike is gone, if they come back and visit and the bike is gone, then they knew that it had a GPS tracking system on it. But if the bike is still there, then they know the bike is clean, and then they'll take it and either, ride it, joyride it, or they'll just take it to a shop and just, take it all apart and sell the parts. So that was like one of the things I just didn't, and I told her when she got her bike back, you know, it was all tore up and things like that, because they just really didn't care about it, and they just kind of threw it on the ground and scratched fairings and stuff like that. But the point is just because you have a GPS tracking system, that doesn't mean that your bike is safe. It doesn't at all. You know, you have to also watch out where you park. I had another friend of mine. He had a Triumph, and what happened was he decided, you know, he went to the mall and whatever, hung out, whatever, and someone took his bike right there, you know, in front. And you know, and the crazy thing is this: when they took his bike, right, they didn't steal it like a normal, like they didn't put it on the back of a truck. What they did was they took it and they tried to hotwire it. They couldn't get it started, so they're actually pushing his bike in the parking lot of the mall. And the mall security guy asked him, "Hey, are you okay? You know, anything wrong?" The guy was like, "No, my bike is dead. I'm just trying to, you know, run it so I can pop the clutch." And the mall security guy was like, "Okay," and then drove off. Well, the mall security guy didn't really, you know, I don't think he did his job good enough. He should have like went out and investigated it a little bit more. Would have, you know, if he'd looked at the column, the steering column, and see that the, you know, ignition has been like broke off and tore apart, that would be the #1 sign that that's not his bike. So, you know, there's really not too many times you can be safe about where you put your bike. So the thing is this: you have to start being careful about where you park your bike, where you leave it, things like that. With me, I leave it in the front all the time, and I make sure wherever I go, I'm not going to be there long. I just, you know, unless I'm like, if I'm out and about and we're riding and I go eat dinner, that's one thing. And I also make sure whenever I eat somewhere, I sit where I can see my bike at all times. I don't ever park my bike somewhere and not be in like line of sight, you know. Because the thing is this: everybody, you know, I care about my bike. I care about my bike tremendously. Now, some people don't. Some people, they get their bike stolen and they're good, and they'll be like, "Well, oh, shoot, I'll just go give me another one." I don't really want to get another one. You know, if I want to get another one, I want to get it because I want another one, not because mine got stolen. And, you know, there's been a little, you know, little things I've learned here and there over the years of having, you know, a sport bike or a bike period, that, you know, I don't do things. Like, for instance, if I go downtown to an event, I never bring my bike. I would never park my bike in a parking garage. Never, ever, 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 ever do that. Because that's just asking your bike to get stolen. You know, another place that I would never park my bike, I would never park my bike at a concert or anything like that, or any kind of event. Never would I do that, because that's another time my bike can get stolen. People don't get it. Anybody, like, you can put a chain around your front rim, they can just take your rim off and take the rest of the bike. Like, all it takes is 2 people, motivation, and a van or a truck, and it's gone. That's it. That's all they need. That's all you need is 2 people, a van, and a lot of motivation. So, I mean, it's up to y'all what, you know, what you do. There's other ways of, there's other things you could do to prevent your bike getting stolen. You know, there's alarm. I stress you not, get an alarm. A loud sounding alarm is more helpful than any GPS tracking system, I believe. That's just my opinion. Because an alarm, if you park your bike in front of the mall and someone tries to steal your bike, that alarm will go off. And the last thing that somebody who's stealing something wants is attention. They don't want that attention. They're like, you know what? We don't want this attention, because if we're sitting here trying to take this bike and the alarm keep going off and we haven't turned it off within a few seconds, then people are going to be wise and say, "Oh, whoa, 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 what's going on over there?" And they'll start asking questions. You don't want that. They don't want that. They want to be able to take your bike as quietly as a thief in the night. So, you know, that's one of the biggest things that I have on my bike that I love, is that I have an alarm. You know, and another thing is you all should remember too, before you buy a bike, do some research about how many of those bikes that got stolen. If you go buy a Gixxer 1000 or whatever year Gixxer you get, and you look on there and see that, oh my gosh, every other week on the Gixxer's getting stolen, you might not want to get that bike. Just to say, because if they're popular to steal, then your bike is going to be in danger at all times. Not to say that no bike's in danger, but those particular kind of bikes that get stolen a lot, especially the same kind, they tend to, yeah, they tend to get stolen. They tend to like go high in the stolen rate, you know what I'm saying? So I suggest that you know, do your research on that too as well. But I'm just going to end that video here now. But there's other ways of saving your bike from getting stolen, and I'll tell you on my next video. If y'all want to hear anything or whatnot, give me some suggestions about what you want me to talk about, or any questions. Just leave them in the comments below. I really need I just need some ideas from y'all, from my subscribers, of what kind of questions they have, or what do they want to know. I mean, I'm not maybe technical, but I can help in a lot of other ways. So just let me know, guys. So with that, I'm out of here. Peace.